Doug Bowser recently had an interview where he answered literally nothing. Cyberpunk 2077 was taken down off of the PlayStation Store because it's just unplayable. A baby was accidentally named after a Pokemon, and we got a surprise final direct of the year, but it's not about video games. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and drop a comment down below so we can just yell at each other. Where's Reggie? Reggie, why'd you have to retire on us? You're over here working on like a million other projects. He's like on the board for like a million companies, helping them do their thing. And he was like, I'm done working. I'm gonna retire now. It's psych, I'm gonna go just work other places and leave Nintendo. We all loved Reggie, obviously. He was a meme god. But when we got Doug Bowser tried to do the memes. He had like Mario and Luigi tied up. He was in some Nintendo Directs trying to be a little memey. And then I think he saw that no one was really taking the bait. We were just like, you're not like, you're cute, but you're not you're cute, but you're not Reggie. So he kind of gave up. We don't see or hear from Doug Bowser ever, for whatever reason. We would like some memes, Dougie baby, please try again, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, he had a interview with Rush Frushtick from Polygon recently, who actually hit him with some pretty tough, hard-hitting questions, we'll say. And Doug avoided all of them successfully, very successfully. The first question was about COVID and how it affected Nintendo, and pretty much all he said was like, we were planning ahead, we were watching the situation, and we were like, oh, we can throw in some evergreen title marketing for games like Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, stuff that's been selling and will continue to sell. We can put out stuff like Pikmin 3 and other things that we already have in the can, really, and just let it go. Pretty much he said that's how the year panned out because of that after Animal Crossing, obviously, and it was just they had to look for easier ways to make money without jeopardizing people's safety. That was basically what he said about that. Then he talked about Animal Crossing's expectations. He was asked about like, how did Nintendo think the Animal Crossing was gonna do? He's like, oh, it blew our expectations out of the water. Talked about people around the world having weddings and all this other fun stuff and everything. That's great. Animal Crossing did huge, absolutely ridiculous for Nintendo. Then he was asked about the Switch Online and possible Game Pass coming to Switch. All he said was like, we're constantly monitoring what people are buying Nintendo Switch Online for, et cetera, and evolving the service around that. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're trickling out games and literally taking games away that you can only play on the Switch Online. So I don't know what you mean by evolving. I mean, making it slightly an ass-air better, sometimes even worse. I don't know if that's evolving, but God bless your heart. And then pretty much he said no Game Pass, basically. Like he literally like avoided the question, but at the end was just like, nah, player. Then he was asked about games being taken off of the eShop or off of the online store after 3/31, Switch Online, I should say. And he said, basically, well, this was just a celebration. We just wanted to celebrate Mario. The celebration ends in March. And that's pretty much all I want to say about it. Like, literally, that's all he said. It was just a celebration. You know, birthday parties don't last forever, basically what he was saying. And then the interviewer asked, like, well, this doesn't make sense for consumers. Like, what if I buy a Nintendo Switch next year? It's my first. I'm dipping my toes into the Nintendo Switch ecosystem next year, and I can't buy the game because it's just gone. And Bowser just said, again, it's just a celebration. I can't really speak about that. I'm just like, what? And then he was asked about a Switch Pro. And he said this a lot, Russ, the way I'd answer that is. Like before a lot of his answers, he said, Russ, the way I'd answer that is. And it's like, what do you mean? You're just about to answer. You don't have to explain how that's how you would answer it. You just answer it, all right? You don't have to tell me, well, this is how I would answer that. And then you answer. I don't know, it's a weird way to speak. But anyways, he just talked about sales numbers, how Nintendo's doing gangbusters, baby. Pretty much he was just like, are you kidding me? We're gonna make a new Switch? Have you seen the numbers, Russ? Take a peek, baby. It's no joke. We're blowing everyone out of the water. 24 months straight, the #1 selling console. That's 2 years, pimp, if you can add. And basically, at the very end of it, he said they will focus on existing form factors, which that could mean anything. The original Switch and the Switch Lite are still the same form factor, right? They're still a handheld tablet with the button on. You could make a Switch Pro that's the same form factor. They said they were gonna focus on the same form factor. That just means like not a new, different iteration of a console that could still mean a Switch. Very vague, no answer. Again, like I'm saying, you're seeing a pattern here. He's not really saying anything about anything. Then he was asked about Joy-Con drift, and he really dodged this one. Let's see here. He said, without going into any details, at the very beginning. It's like, okay, what? He said that we're working close with fans and consumers and blah, 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 blah. If you have a problem with your console, obviously we'll want to make it right, so send it in and we'll do what we can. He didn't acknowledge that there was Joy-Con drift. Like literally he was just dancing around just like, oh, nope, not gonna admit. Cannot admit we did anything wrong, sorry. But he did say that they are taking the opportunities that they get by receiving faulty products and making improvements going forward, which would insinuate they were creating new Joy-Cons or new something to combat this influx of problems that they don't want to acknowledge. Then he was asked about game updates, specifically for Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, and literally he says nothing. He pretty much just says, well, I can't talk about any of those. Next question, player. It's like, Jesus Christ, can you at least lie to us like Kamiya does and say, development is going smoothly? He didn't even give us that. He just said, I mean, what? Nothing, sorry. And then he was asked about more crossover games like Warriors, like giving other developers Nintendo IP to make games. And he was like, well, I don't want to speak for developers, but I think they know what they're doing. And if we trust a company, then we trust them. And that's it. That's like literally all he said. And then he was asked about Nintendo's 2021. And he literally just said like, well, we're going to continue to make games. And then he also plugged the Lego sets and the Super Nintendo World. It was like, we're bringing more ways for consumers to interact with our IP, which they have been. So many goddamn collaborations out the ass with clothing companies in particular with Nintendo, but that's literally all he said. He didn't give us anything. He just said, we're gonna make games and just make stuff. Hope you like it. Doug! Jesus Christ, this is the most non-interview I've ever seen. You dodged every question, didn't answer anything. Like, seriously, you can't even give us a breadcrumb on something? Or they got you that pinned down at Nintendo? Like, I feel like Reggie gave us little inklings and at least joked around and hinted at stuff like, hey, I guess we'll see soon. Doug Bowser said, absolutely not. I will tell you nothing. You are not gonna get, what are we gonna have to torture you? Or Jesus Christ, Doug. Where's Reggie? Where is he? Bring him back. Get him back in here. Fire Doug now. And Cyberpunk 2077 was taken down off of the Sony Playstation store because it is in that bad of a state. And this is pretty, I think this is unprecedented. I don't know if there's ever, like, I don't think Fallout 76 got removed. This is like outrageous. Like, Sony got so many refund requests, they said, fuck it, take it down, we're done. CD Projekt Red, what the fuck was this? You lied to us. Straight the fuck up. And I made a video about Cyberpunk the other day. I was just roasting Cyberpunk 2077 simps on Twitter, stans that are just diehard. Like, I can't believe you buy this on a PlayStation or Xbox. My PC with my RTX 2080 runs it fine. Idiot. Like, no, I'm saying that they lied to consumers in order to get their money. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it doesn't run great elsewhere. I'm not saying that I'm not having, I said I had fun with the game. I'm having fun with the game, bugs and everything reside. I'm just saying what they did was shitty. Sony taking off the PlayStation Store literally confirms this. Like, there's no, you can't say it, but why am I still getting hate? Anyways, I lost like 60 subscribers from that video. It didn't go down well with the Sims, but that's okay. I'm having fun. This is for me. So there you go. Cyberpunk 2077, and I hope you get it together. CD Projekt Red, I should say. And a baby was accidentally named after a Pokemon. You're like, Sean, what do you mean? How could that? It's not even possible. This comes from Reddit, so it could just be a made-up story. Redditors make up a lot of stories just so they can get that karma. I don't know how Reddit works. They get those upvotes and like, look, dude, I'm on the front page of Pokemon. I don't know, I don't know what happens here. But anyways, a man, I didn't get his name, but the story goes that he was playing Sword in the back of a van with a newborn in the family, his nephew. He was with his family in the back of the van, I guess leaving the hospital. I don't know what the case was, but it's a newborn baby. And he was playing Pokemon Sword, and they were looking for names for the baby. They wanted a Z name. Obviously playing Pokemon Sword, he said, hey, why not Zacian? That's a cool name. It means sword in Japanese. Kind of just fucking around, not telling them that it was a Pokemon. It doesn't mean sword in Japanese either. I don't know if he was joking around there or he just didn't know or he just made up stuff like me in 2nd grade. I don't know. But they loved it. They said, oh my God, that's it. And they went with it. They named their boy Zacian. And there you go. We have a child named after a Pokemon. I'm sure it's not the first. There's probably like a kid out there named Pikachu, Charmander, Meowth. Who knows? Go look it up online yourself. I didn't think to do so before this, which would probably have been funny because we could go, this motherfucker right here is named Pikachu. You idiot. But Zacian is kind of a cool name. It doesn't really sound like a Pokemon. I could see a person like, hey, Zacian, what's up? That's a cool fucking name. And I don't mind it. If I was named Zacian, that's cool, I guess. I mean, maybe Pokemon will be irrelevant by the time he's 18. Like, what are you named after? I'm named after a fucking Pokemon. Like, we're gonna be named after like a random Power Ranger from the early 90s. I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat, kind of funny. Obviously, could not be true, but there you go. There's a wild Zacian out there. Make him into a Pokemon card, Nintendo, you cowards. Or Pokemon, sorry. And we got a Nintendo World Direct today. I made a video just right before I made this one, a reaction to it as it happened. Go check that out if you want to see my reaction to it. A lot of cool stuff. Miyamoto was giddy as hell showing off Super Nintendo World. Like I said, it's up on the channel now if you want to go check it out. Go check it out. But if you want to support the channel, we have a merch store at Fugamecrue.bigcartel.com. We got shirts, stickers, mugs, all that fun stuff. Quality, fast shipping, and pricing. For as low as $1 a month, you can help support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Fugamecrue. There's also a join button down below. It's like Patreon through YouTube. All are great ways to support the channel. But you can support us by liking, commenting, subscribing, all that fun stuff. Links to everything in the description, including Cameron's channel is down there. I will have a pinned comment down below with all the other channels that I worked on. Just made a wrestling video yesterday as well. Making a lot of videos in a lot of different places. Working on a video of Bubby's World now. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see ya later.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.